There once was a farmer who wasn't wealthy, didn't have fancy equipment or shiny boots, only a poor soul with rough hands and confidence in the ground. With hope in his heart, he headed out to the fields one morning before the sun rose, carrying a shabby bag of seeds over his shoulder. As he walked along the edge of his land, he reached into the bag and began to scatter the seed. With every toss, he dreamed of harvest golden stalks waving in the wind, grain enough to feed many, but not every seed fell where he'd hoped. There were some strewn across the rough, worn-out trail where daily traffic traveled. There was pressed flat, dry earth the seeds couldn't sink in. They just rolled and bounced. Birds, including inquisitive crows and keen-eyed sparrows, soon noticed and descended from the trees, devouring the seeds and leaving nothing behind. The farmer walked on. Some seed fell on rocky ground. There was a little soil, just enough to give the seed a quick start, and sure enough, tiny green shoots popped up in a matter of days. But the roots couldn't dig deep, the rocks were too close, too cruel. So when the sun blazed high and the wind turned hot, those young plants withered. They had no strength, no water, no foundation. Still, the farmer did not give up. A seed fell among thorns, wild plants that had quietly and cunningly infiltrated without anyone noticing. Both the thorns and the seeds developed into plants, quicker, more powerful. The light was drowned out by the weeds as they coiled themselves around the stems and wound through the leaves. Not because they didn't grow, but rather because they weren't growing by themselves. Those seeds had no chance. But then some seed fell on good soil, soil that had been broken, turned, and softened by years of care. The rain had touched it gently, and the sun had warmed it. The seed sank in deep, rooted well, and grew slowly, steadily, full of life. And when the season came, those plants gave back more than the farmer ever imagined. 30 times what was planted, 60 times, even 100 times more. It was enough to feed not just a family, but a whole village. The farmer smiled, leaned on his shovel, and looked at the fields. He had trusted the seed, trusted the process, and he had trusted the soil. And the story ends with a whisper as the wind rustles the grain. He who has ears, let him hear.